War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Tellurides, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
There's a lot of talk these days about who's the biggest. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. Bigger doesn't equal better.
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. We know we're not the biggest. We don't want to be.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're big enough to handle your case and get you the help you need,
but small enough to welcome you, where you're never just a number. You're part of our family.
The Lackey Law Firm, 1-800-4RIGHTS.
Your representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports and it's brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane, the best pregame fan fest in college football. Visit championslane.com for updates throughout the season. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Huber. On Tuesday's edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, we'll be joined by the voice of the Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart.
There's a comfort level, a confidence level that we didn't really see 12 months ago, which is natural. That's not in any way an indictment on last season. When you have change, especially historical change, monumental change, that does indeed take place. There was nobody that was going to make for a totally seamless transition. There's not another Nick Saban. But I think this went almost as smoothly as it could, given the fact that you had a coach come in from the West Coast who had not been, or from the West, who had not been to the Southeast.
I'll have more in a moment. Tide fans, are you ready for game day in Tuscaloosa? Don't miss the ultimate pregame experience this season at Vector Security Champions Lane, opening 4 hours before each home game. This fan fest has everything you need to get pumped for kickoff. Located next to the Walk of Champions, you'll enjoy live music, player autographs, the best food trucks from all over Alabama, and ice-cold beer in our Legends Lounge beer garden, where there's never a cover charge. Check out championslane.com each week for the latest updates. Roll Tide! Join us this afternoon for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, streaming live at 2 p.m. Central on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. All throughout the football season, Crimson Drive is live each Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Just like that. We like to say we're off, we're rolling, and we're brand new. And today is
Speaking
Tuesday.
of brand new, we just saw a lot of brand new stuff.
We did. Big thank you to Talent Heating and Air.
Yeah.
97.7 ESPN, the Zone Talking Ball Tailgate Tour, rolling along today. Today we have found our way over to Florence.
Purple is our favorite color.
Today it is. We are at the home of the North Alabama Lions. We are sitting inside the bank, as they like to call it, CB&S Bank Arena on the campus of the UNA Lions. And we're going to talk everything UNA today.
Awesome.
The lineup, this is what we've got for you coming up. We've got Brent Dearman, head football coach. We've got Tony Poole, head men's basketball coach. We got Dr. Josh Looney, the athletics director here. Jed
Prakniak.
There we go, baseball coach. Tristan Johnson, head volleyball coach. And Candy Whitaker, head women's basketball coach. That's all what we have going on for you coming up a little bit later this morning. And as you mentioned, we got to take a little bit of an outside tour of the new football stadium.
Yep.
Spectacular. And there's only just half of it up, not even half of it up. And it's still spectacular.
No, I mean, it's really cool watching it go up. And then, I mean, it's been a few years since I've been here. I was saying 2, but I think it's actually been at least 3+. But it's so amazing, all the growth and the energy here. And our next guest, who's going to be leading us off today, who just gave us this tour, and he does a great job as director of communications, and he's in his 9th year already with our good friend Brian Neese, bringing you UNA football. And they will open on the road against the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky this Saturday. But Benjamin Ray's been kind enough to join us here live as we're going to talk some UNA today, thanks to Talent Heating and Air.
Yes.
And Benjamin, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you guys for having me, and thanks for coming and hanging out this morning. This is great.
No,
this
is all we're doing. We're just it's
yeah.
just a little like a fireside chat.
Should have brought some coffee. Could have started the morning off.
I mean, it's cool enough outside. It doesn't even feel like the summer, man. It feels
it does
great.
not.
I mean, we watched the golf team, and I know it's near and dear to the heart of my good friend and ex next door neighbor Matthew Schmitz. We watched them work out here in the bank this morning, and then they went to the weight room. There's just so much energy around UNA and this campus, and as Scott and I were driving in, and it was my first time seeing the football stadium go up, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Look at that. And then the first thing that went through my mind is, where's everybody going to park? But that's a good problem to have, Benjamin.
It is, and Dr. Looney can tell you more. We're going to have more parking per seat in the stadium than any other school in the state of Alabama. And it's just going to be nice to see campus come to life, tailgating throughout campus.
Man.
We got parking around that we'll be able to make work. They've got committees working on that. But just the fact that we've been talking about this since the 70s, and it's finally happened. It's not talk anymore. It's progress. There's a big crane out there. You guys just saw the big steel moving around. It's crazy seeing it come to life.
Welders going on. Yeah. There's little sparks. When you weld, you get the sparks and stuff. They're literally building this. And Benjamin, you and our good friend Brian Neese, you're going to pack up the UNA truckster and you're going to head north.
3.5 hours.
Yeah, on Saturday for the first game of the 2025 season.
We're excited, and let me tell you, it's a 3.5 hour drive up there, and we're taking the women's golf van. We got about 7 of us going in our media crew, but they're excited because it's got TVs in it, and so they can watch TV, play video games. I'll be driving, so I won't get to experience that. But we're very excited for this first game. Everybody. You can't wait for football to get here. Right. It gets here, and then you blink, and it's over. We got 12 weeks of this coming up, right? So we're fired up for it. It's not long enough. It feels like we should have more football. You wait all year for it, and so Saturday we'll get rolling up in Western Kentucky, up in Bowling Green, and you open up against an FBS team, and more than anything, we just want to see how we compete. Week 1, we've been watching us bang against each other last month. We're ready to see a different colored jersey out there, right?
No question. And what are the expectations this year? I mean, it's interesting because we watched my dad's alma mater. He went to Jack State, and of course they're now Jack State, but it took them a few years to get under their feet underneath them in FCS, and then now they've made the transition to FBS, and we're seeing UNA do the same thing. And they were both, Jack State was a powerhouse in Division II. UNA redefined, dominance in Division II football. But talk about the progress you've seen.
When you look back at last year, every game that we lost in league play, the United Athletic Conference, you can pinpoint 4 or 5 plays total that were the difference in us winning and losing games. And Coach Dearman has talked about that. We played Central Arkansas. We're the who are the preseason favorites, and one play doesn't go our way, and it's the difference in being tied at the half to being down 2 scores.
Wow.
And he's looking at that saying, guys, we are so close. And they feel like they've brought the pieces in. We did that last year playing 3-4 different quarterbacks. So now Ari Patu's back. He's healthy. He broke his wrist 3rd game of the year after he threw for 350 yards against a playoff team in Illinois State. So offensively, they like what Ari brings. And talking with Coach Dearman last night, the amount of skill guys he has running 22, 23 miles an hour at practice, they're super excited about that, just trying to get creative ways to get them the football. And on the defensive side, that they lost a lot, but they really like what they brought in, a lot of new faces, so that they're going to fly around. Brock Carabo, the defensive coordinator, he likes to bring a lot of blitzes and get creative that way. So I think more than anything in the UAC, they feel like they're ready to take that next step because we've been close, and everybody's tired of saying we're close. They're ready to go out and show, hey, we're here. And I think that's the big hope this season.
United Athletic Conference.
The UAC.
Is that getting used to saying? I mean, because it's always been so you had the GSC, and then it was, trying to get into a conference. Then you were in a conference, and then now you're in another conference.
Football's had the toughest go with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go back to 2018, our first year Division I, and we weren't in a conference. We were an FCS independent. We played a split schedule. Year 2, we were in the Big South, but the Big South didn't recognize us in the conference standing, so our games didn't count. Year 3 was the COVID year of 2020, where we played 1 FCS game and 3 FBS games, and we opted out of the spring season. Then we had 1 year of ASUN football, and then back into the UAC, and then all of our with the ASUN changes, all of our teams will be transitioning to the UAC next year. So conference realignment, it's been crazy for football, but now football has a home, and you got the stadium coming. It just feels like things are finally steadying for that program.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe it's already Coach Dearman's 3rd year as the Hill started. And I mean, I remember, when he got here, matter of fact, I guess when we were here a few years ago, he was heading into year 1, and he was getting ready to get this thing rolling. And then with the climate around collegiate athletics now, it's so different. But and then especially when you're a program like UNA and you're trying to ascend into FCS competition, there's a pretty good chance you are going to have a lot of roster turnover, because it works both ways. You can attract student athletes from other places, and then if you have a great player, you might not be able to hold on to him. But I think the NIL situation, from what I've been hearing the last few days, and the rev share, and I know we'll talk to Dr. Looney about that in a little bit, but it sounds like it's very healthy here.
It is, and I think we've been at the forefront of it in terms of the ASUN and the UAC. Dr. Looney's very aggressive, and hey, we've got to stay out in front of this, because it changes week to week. What they were doing last week might not be what they're doing next week, and it's going to continue to be that way. And you look at football, the high caliber of freshmen that we've been able to bring in, where last year we won UAC Freshman of the Week 6 times in 11 weeks. And we had the freshman of the year, and so he was unbelievable last year, linebacker, and he transfers to Tulsa. So we're getting better high school kids coming, because a lot of those group of 5s, they're hitting the transfer portal. So that it's kind of the give and take. Hey, we get good freshmen, and then sometimes you lose them a lot quicker. So it's just kind of the way things are now. I know he's got some freshmen on his 2 deep that he's super excited about, that typically might not be at a school of this size if it wasn't for the transfer portal. Where Western Kentucky, who we're playing Saturday, they got 61 new guys, 47 transfers.
Wow.
So think about that. That's what my sports math. I'm not a mathematician.
I'm not either. That's why we do radio.
That's right.
Yes.
That's what 14 high school kids they brought in this year compared to 47 transfers. I mean, it's been a game changer.
And I want to ask you, because everyone that we're going to talk to here today, you have been here the longest, and we were talking about it. Drew and I were, as we were pulling in today, that this should be the last season for Brawley Stadium. All intents purposes, this one here is hopefully built, and this will be the farewell to Brawley Stadium. But I was like, there's a lot of history there. And I know you guys have wanted to get out of there, and you've wanted your on-campus stadium. But, I mean, to find – I mean, it's hosted the Division II National Championship game for years. I mean, Brawley Stadium was when – I mean, you guys redid it. It was spectacular at the time. What does it mean, though, to be playing the final year at Brawley Stadium, to leave it behind emotionally?
It's kind of bittersweet, because everybody's got a Brawley Stadium. It's been the home to not just UNA, but if you're a local person from Bradshaw to Coffee to Florence High School, it's been the home of football in the Shoals area. And you go back to all those championship years, everybody's got memories inside of Brawley Stadium from the three-peat, 93, 94, 95. There's no doubt in 95 we were going to win it. And then just walk-off kicks, field goals. West Georgia misses one a few years ago. We get a big win there. Everybody's got their Brawley moment. A.J. Milwee playing there, now the offensive coordinator at Texas. I mean, so many monumental moments in UNA football history have taken place in Brawley Stadium. And that's why this year we want to make sure we recognize that every home football game, they're bringing back a different era of UNA football to kind of have reunions each game. And we'll do some other stuff on social media with it. But it's bittersweet. You're saying goodbye to the home of UNA football, our rich football tradition. It took place at Brawley, and Brawley got us there. Brawley's where we built the path to Division I. But then it also leads to something incredible in there, which is transformational for campus and the Shoals area, and that stadium being built right out there, Bank Independence Stadium. So it's bittersweet, but it has been talked about since 1970, and the thought of campus coming to life, the tailgating scene, Saturdays taking place where we finally have something of our own, where it's not, hey, we joke, we get 5 Saturdays a year at Brawley to set up and make it purple, to put our UNA stuff out there. Well, now we've got 365 days a year of something that's ours. We're not having to ask permission to go in there and use it. It's ours, and it's going to have life. It's going to have personality. And as bittersweet as it is to say goodbye to Brawley, it's going to be nice to have something to call home of our own.
It's really going to be awesome. And it's going to be a game changer for this school. And what Dr. Looney has accomplished in just over 4 years is astounding. I mean, when I see, what CB&S Bank Arena looks like now, and then and then even just in the last, because I haven't been, this is my first time here since we came back for our last media day, and then the football stadium, and then we can see it from a distance, the new baseball field. It's now ready to roll. It's just astounding what the growth of this on this campus. And you've seen enrollment climb during all of that. But what, 12,000 now? It's pushing that number. And then the community support. When you look back to basketball season last year, and we had those ASUN tournaments here, it was sold out. And 11 years I've been here, I've never seen this place so full. There were stories in the 70s and 80s in the heyday of this place of it being standing room only, and that's about what we had. So we're seeing all these changes, facilities. As we moved into Division I, a lot of people, can they compete at Division I? Well, we won 5 championships last year, first time ever. So It's taken us some time to get there, and we feel like we're no longer the underdog story. And you'll probably hear Dr. Looney talk about that. We feel like we belong now. We feel like we can compete with all those ASUN schools, and now you see where our facilities are at. And as I go on the road to these places, you really realize, oh, wow, the UNA facilities are kind of top-notch now. Yeah, which is huge.
Benjamin Ray, kind enough to sit with us right out of the gates as our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Talking Ball Tailgate Tour rolls into Florence, home of the North Alabama Lions. Great way to start the morning.
Absolutely.
Great way. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, first of all, thank you for getting here at a little after 6 or 6 o'clock to let us in the building, first of all. We appreciate that.
You guys are morning show hosts, you're early risers. I'm an early riser as well. It just kind of changed up my morning routine, which is great as well. But no, thank you all for coming over here. And we always talk, it feels like that trip from Huntsville is getting shorter, right? From Florence to Huntsville. So it's great to have you guys here.
And that's another thing, Dr. Looney, when we met with him, when he first took this job a few years ago, he wanted to build a bridge into Huntsville and have a bigger presence for UNA in North Alabama and in the Rocket City. And I think they've done that with UNA athletics. It's talked about a lot, and we appreciate the relationship we have with you guys. And it was fun driving through the night to get here.
It was.
We appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
It was cool.
A black dog.
Yeah.
Couldn't even barely see it. And it was there, though.
Yeah.
It looked like a bear.
Yeah. Except you weren't going 95 miles an hour like Molton.
Yes. All right. Got to get a break in. Our first one of the morning. We're live on the road on the campus of North Alabama. It's Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We are a championship school, and school is in session.
Makes the catch, makes them bang into each other, stays on his feet, breaks the tackle, scores.
Join us Saturday, August 30th as the Crimson Tide open the 2025 season in Tallahassee against Florida State on your home for Alabama football.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC. Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Listen to the Rocket City Trash Pandas all season long.
Next pitch is drilled. Deep to left field. Back goes Edsel. At the wall. It's out of here. A home run. Like a tomato. Ketchup squished it.
Trash Panda Baseball is only on Talk Radio WZZN.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
The Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays beginning at noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
There we go. We're back. And we're live.
Yeah, we just had a Southern night.
You and I,
or morning, or whatever the hell
you and I
call it.
have gotten this down, though. Remember, earlier this year,
yeah,
we journeyed over to Atlanta and we did our show live from the Battery there.
Didn't we leave at
in
like
Atlanta?
3:30?
We left at like 3, I thought it was.
Or something.
It was like 3 in the morning.
Because we were going
left.
to lose an hour.
Because we were going to lose an hour.
We had great food over there at the Battery.
We did. I had the Brussels sprouts and something else. It was fantastic. But we did that. And so then remember we did Spring Garden.
Yeah.
We did Ace Austin signing. We had to leave in the middle of the night then. Dark 30.
Oh, we did.
And then this morning we again left at Dark 30 to come over here to UNA to do our tailgate tour. Thank you to Talent Heating and Air. TalentHVAC.com is where you can find our good friends from Talent Heating and Air. You can also give them a call if you would like, 256-503-4490. Let their talent do some work for you. Thomas, Cherry, Jeremy helping us drive over here in the middle of the night to do our tailgate tour. Last week we were on the campus of Alabama A&M. Today we are here in North Alabama. Now coming up here in just a few minutes, Brent Dearman, head football coach of the Lions, he will join us. And then coming up at 7:45, Tony Pujol is set to join us as well, head men's basketball coach. That's what we have left coming up here in hour number 1. Hour number 2 is jammed packed. Dr. Josh Looney will be with us. Baseball coach
Jad
Prakniak will be with us. Tristan Johnson, head volleyball coach. And then Candy Whitaker, head women's basketball coach, will join. Look who's here.
Right there he is.
Look who's here with us.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting show because we were here when he just took over 3 years ago and was about to head into year 1. We met with a lot of his coaching staff that were still here. And of course, Kerryon Johnson had just been named to the staff at that point. So it was a really cool thing. And now we get to see all the progress and we get to see the shiny new home he's going to have next season. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. He's been busy this morning.
Watching film.
He's got film. This is game week. This is game week. We're not preseason camp anymore.
Game 1, year 3.
Yeah, this is game week, and all the tension has been turned to Western Kentucky.
Yep, and of course we're talking about third-year head football coach Brent Dearman, who's been kind enough to join us here for our tailgate tour here at UNA. Coach, it's great to see you again. How are you doing, sir?
Doing fantastic this morning, guys. Are already planning Tuesday's practice today, bright and early this morning, and it's exciting to play somebody else. For 3.5, 4 weeks, you've been banging against each other, and it's going to be fun to play somebody not wearing purple and gold for once.
How does the mentality change from preseason camp to breaking camp to game week, all in a matter of like a day or so?
The past 2 years we've played in that week 0 game.
That's right.
And you've had the stress of the week school started. We were playing a game in Montgomery too. So it's a lot calmer this year to have a week 1 game instead of the week 0 game. But, guys have been competing for starting spots. So now you move past that competition within your locker room to now building more of a team and unity. They know who the starters are pretty much, and now they can cheer each other on. They'll be excited for each other. So a little bit less of the inside the locker room competition. Now it turns more to focus on how to win a football game against somebody else.
And now it's flipped because Western Kentucky, you've got actual game film because they played in week 0 against Sam Houston.
Yeah, the tough part that we had all summer is you like to scout out your first couple games. Their defensive coordinator from last year left, and they've got 2 guys that are co-DCs that have never called it before. So we really had no idea what they were going to do. So it gives us a little bit of game film of knowing now what they're going to be. On the offensive side of the ball, their starting quarterback was the starting quarterback at Abilene Christian last year. That was the player of the year in our league. that we beat here at home in our big homecoming win. The OC was the OC at Abilene Christian. So both of those guys, we know a little bit about what they're going to do offensively, and I bet they've got a little bit of extra on their minds for what we did last year at home against them.
Well, at the same time, too, though, they know what they're going to do offensively. They also conversely know what you're going to try to do defensively, though, too, right? I mean, that's the chess match that we talk about.
Yes, it is. You've got to make a little bit of adjustments, knowing that they've seen us already, knowing that quarterback's played against us already. So we've got to tweak a little bit of stuff. We got to make things look different to try to confuse him a little bit. But he's a 3-year starter. I mean, usually once quarterbacks get up there in age, it's a little bit tougher to confuse those guys. So that's been the challenge for our defensive staff.
And then I know last year and this is something you can't control, you had a lot of injuries at the quarterback position. So you went through a lot of guys, and right now, knock on wood, everything's a lot better though. You've got your QB1 in going into year 2, and you're healthier at the position to start the year, Coach.
Yes. Ari Patu is going to be our starter in game 1, was a starter last year.
Yep.
He got here mid-July last year, graduated from Stanford. So he didn't really come in and had to learn a new offense, had to build a connection with our receivers, and struggled game 1 in that week 0 game. Game 2, we play Memphis, who's a top 20 defense in the nation, struggled that week. And then the third game, he started really coming on. I think he had over 350 yards passing against Illinois State, who's a second-round playoff team. I think they're starting the year off number 5 in the country. So he was starting to turn the page, and then the injury hit. And then we played 3 other quarterbacks last season. I hope I never play 4 quarterbacks in the season. But he's going in as a starter. We brought in a transfer named Destin Wade, who started a bowl game for Kentucky 2 years ago, transferred to Colorado, was Sanders' backup at Colorado. He's also a 6'3", 230-pound guy. So we got 2 big running quarterbacks that we feel really good about.
This team, and we talked to Benjamin a little bit about it, and you look at the schedule last year and you look at the results. This team is that close. And when I say that close, I mean it's a razor-thin margin between taking that next gigantic step as a program and staying where you're at. I mean, Coach, you're right there.
Yeah, we've closed the gap. That's what I've really challenged our coaches is the first year we built a little bit of momentum, but we had some blowout losses. Year 2, we had a lead in 8 games. And in one of the toughest schedules in all of FCS football. I think 6 of the teams we played last year were playoff-bound teams. And even the last game, Eastern Kentucky, we got a lead with 1.5 minutes left to go in the game. And they end up being a playoff team. So we've got to now find that way to finish those games. And that was a big stress to our team is how can we play for 60 minutes instead of for 30 minutes or 35 minutes? We've closed the gap. Let's now jump that and get on the other side of the mountain now.
And how much growth have you seen out of your team defensively? I know you guys lost the freshman of the year, but that's part of it because you guys have recruited some really good high school players. And we talked to Benjamin about that because sometimes on this level, you recruit a really good player, he moves up, but at the same time, it opens up opportunity. You guys have done a great job of recruiting the state of Alabama.
Yes, I think we're coming off of a top 20 recruiting class in FCS football. And I think nowadays, because so many of the group of 5s are going to the portal, we're able to land better high school players than this level's ever have. And you look at a Josh Anglin like last year that come in was a freshman All-American, was a freshman of the year in the league. We won 7 freshman of the week awards in our conference last year. Jalen Fletcher, guy won 3 of those. We got another guy named Fred Veely. It was a enterprise defensive lineman that played as a true freshman. But you're going to see more guys like that. Bishop Burkhalter's a name I'm going to bring up to everybody that he was an Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game linebacker, was All-State linebacker, comes in. His brother's playing tight end for us, so we're able to get both of them. But he'll play a lot as a freshman as well. But you're going to see us play a lot of freshmen, especially on that defensive side of the ball.
Right. Expectations then? I mean, you got a little bit of the old guys and you bringing in some new. What would be a good expectation then for this season?
We want to win the conference. I mean, we want to, we beat our conference champion last year. The 3 teams that went to the playoffs in our league, we beat one of them. We had a lead with 1 minute left to go in the game with another. Our league is so tight between teams 1 and teams 8 in our league. And then in the transfer portal world, I mean, you could flip a roster. You really don't know who anybody's got. Austin P won it 2 years ago. They finished 7th in the league last year. So we want to win the conference. We're stressing that every day to our guys. But in order to do that, you got to win every single day. And I know that's coaching cliche, but you can't expect to win on Saturdays if you're not winning on Tuesday. So we got to empty the tank every day.
No question. And I've got a little birdie that feeds me some stuff about UNA, and I've always admired the school. I grew up coming to games here, but he told me to ask you about a kid in your program, Tango McCauley, that you guys are excited about.
Yes, we are. He's a transfer linebacker, junior college kid. His dad played here in the state, was a really good offensive lineman at Alabama State. So he's got a little bit of ties, but he's a 6'2", 235, 240-pound linebacker that looks like a true old-school Mike linebacker. He's actually given 3 of our offensive players concussions this fall camp. Wow. Two tight ends and a center. So he plays the game hard. He plays physical. He plays sometimes he plays with his head instead of his hands. So we're trying to get him to play with his hands more. But when you have to bring a linebacker back, that's a good sign. Yeah. If you got to try to find a way to get him to bite, that's not a good sign at linebacker.
UNA head football coach Brent Dearman, kind enough to sit in with us on our tailgate tour. Coach, you kind of went viral about a week ago with a tweet that you put out there, and it caught a lot of people's attention. And it was what most people never see in a month or a week within a program.
Yeah, I was trying to just encourage other coaches, because I know everybody's going through the same thing. It's not just us, but within a week's time period, we had. I've got a coach whose wife started radiation treatment. I got a coach that his dad has trouble one morning, got sent to ICU for a couple of days, and he's back in in the home state of Indiana, and he's trying to coach with his dad going through this deal. I've had players that passed away, had parents or grandparents pass away. I had another player whose mom was evicted. I had another player who had his car repoed while we were at practice. And what happens is all this stuff makes it to my desk, and you try. It's coach and counselor. I feel like I'm counselor Dearman at times. Yeah. And those kids and even your staff, they need it. And what I was encouraging our other coaches in the world is you can't allow the on the field stuff only to be all that matters. You got to be that counselor for them. You got to encourage your players. You got to love them up. You got to pray for them. We all go through things. I'm not making excuses. We weren't looking for a way out. But we just got to understand that we got to have some empathy and grace at times.
And then as far as this team, and you talked about it now being able to come together because the competitions for positions is basically over. They know who the starters are. What are you most excited about for year 3 and to see this group lock up with Western Kentucky?
You got a returning starter coming back at quarterback. I think we've got 4 of our 5 offensive linemen have played a lot of games for us. And when those 2 positions got experience, it usually ends up being a good thing for you. We've got a senior running back. We've got a senior tight end. Our 2 leading receivers this year are probably going to be seniors. With Tanaka Scott and Justin Pegues as a transfer we brought in. So we're a lot older and more experienced on the offense side of the ball, whereas the defense side of the ball has got a pretty good mix, but you bring back a Jaheim Ingram's been a 2-year starter, been a Muscle Shoals product for us. We've got Seth Hampton's been a starter for us at linebacker, and we've brought in a lot of transfers on that side of the ball with B.J. Diacotes, a transfer defensive end from Vanderbilt. We've got Jamari Paynes, a transfer defensive end from Purdue. Both of those guys are Alabama high school football products that we're able to bring back into the state. So offensively, you got a lot of experience, where defense got a lot of new faces but can fly around.
When you say the portal and you say we got this guy out of the portal, and I keep thinking of it like a phone book. I mean, is it just like here's the list of the DBs in the portal. Here's a list of the quarterbacks in the portal. I mean, do you sit there and do you just look at names, or I mean, how does that work when there's 1,000 guys in the portal? I mean, how do you find it? How do you look at it? I mean, what do you look at when it comes to the portal?
The biggest thing we try to find is a connection, because it's just a spreadsheet at the end of the day. Like you said, it's a phone book or an Excel spreadsheet, and you can get lost. And what we try to do is we've got to have some kind of connection. I don't want to bring people into this program that we don't know something about in some way. What we've tried to really hone in on is either guys that we've got a couple guys from FAU that I coached that I had a relationship with.
Yeah.
Our starting wheel linebacker, Jabari Hill, was a safety at FAU that continued to eat and add weight. And, that's usually what happens to those bigger safeties. They move down in the box. We've got a starting corner, Davon Martin, that played at Middle Tennessee for me. So I already had a connection with him. I recruited Ari Patu when I was at Kansas. Flew out to California multiple times and did official visits with him. So I had a relationship with him already. I recruited Destin Wade when I was at Middle Tennessee. So you like to have a connection, or they've got some kind of ties back to the state of Alabama. Like I said, with the two defensive ends, I recruited LT Sanders, who's a transfer running back from Western Kentucky. I recruited him out of Gardendale High School when I was at Middle Tennessee. So a lot of these are just previous relationships that I'm able to kind of rekindle that relationship a little bit.
I just didn't know how all that works, because I mean, you hear guys going into the portal, you hear, you're active in the portal. I just didn't know if it was like, they send you a directory, or is it just like you said, a spreadsheet with just a 1,000 names on it?
That's a little bit of both. It's an online website that when you log in, you can type in specifics. You can filter it down to, I just want O-lineman that got 3 years left.
Okay.
And it'll pop up a spreadsheet for you. I mean, you can find whatever you're looking for in there. Now, a lot of times what I worry about with a portal is most of the time a kid's in the portal, he's got a little bit of baggage. There's a reason why he's living, and we need to find that out. So a lot of people don't do this, but we call the previous university and say, hey, what's going on? Tell us the truth. Why is he leaving? What's there? We call the high school coach and see character stuff, see if there's any flaws in the character. We want to find out everything we know about a guy before we bring him in.
And then we met him just when he was coming over, when you brought him on your staff. But how big is it to have Brock Caraboa here for the third year? And as you said, you had a lot of turnover defensively, but you've got the same DC.
It's consistency. I mean, these kids are getting to learn, not have to learn a new defense. They're getting to call the same things that they've been doing. Seth Hampton's his third year in the program, is going to be the starting Mike linebacker in game one. And it's good for him to be calling the same defense that he learned day one install when he first arrived. So I think just having that consistency of offense and defense, I'm still calling plays offensively. So the scheme hadn't changed on offense. Scheme hadn't changed on defense. And then our special team coordinator's another guy that's been here all 3 years. So I think the consistency of the playbook is nice to have.
When you pull in the mornings and you see the progress across the street, they're not even across the street, right outside the building, with the new stadium. I mean, crazy. Yeah. How excited do you get?
I mean, it's an amazing feeling. I saw you guys out there this morning when I got here.
Oh, it was amazing.
And it's fun. For so long it was a pipe dream around here. When I first got here, we were selling something in recruiting that was a hope. We're blueprints.
Yep.
And now we've got going into the 2025 season, we have 19 2026 high school commitments at this moment in time. And it's because we're bringing kids on campus, putting a hard hat on them and walking them out there, and they actually get to see it. And kids like the new shiny toy. And we're going to have the new shiny thing on campus. We're going to have, for the first time ever, fraternities, sororities are going to get to set up right there on the hill. The impact it's going to bring to this downtown area it's all going to be huge for football, but it's going to be big for the city of Florence.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's so big. I mean, it's hard to fathom, because I've grown up coming to games here, and not a bad seat in Brawley Stadium, but to have your own place and then to walk outside here, and this has been transformed in the last few years, but to walk outside and see the stadium and then be able to look down and see how they built it, and then the baseball field on the other, it's insane. I mean, the 3 years, Dr. Lee's been here 4+ years, but the growth is amazing.
It is. You look across the street, we've got a brand new dorm going up right across the street that future athletes are going to be able to have a brand new dorm, look out their dorm room at the new stadium across the street. It's fun times. I'm trying to work a deal out with Dr. Looney. Let's put the student section on that visitor side right behind the bench, and let's get some rowdy lines on game day. But it's going to be exciting. The scoreboard is huge. It's starting to go up already. So it's definitely exciting times in UNA athletics.
Well, we thank you so much for the chat. Yes, thank you for taking game week time. So we appreciate you for stopping by.
Absolutely. Thank y'all. Roar Lines.
All right. Brent Dearman kind enough to join us. Let's get a break in. Tony Poolhole, head men's basketball coach, sitting down with us next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. We're definitely going to be on the cooler end of the spectrum. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s, dropping into the mid and upper 50s as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning. A partly sunny sky Wednesday afternoon. Once again, temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. We're going to repeat this as we head into your Thursday.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Calling all UAH Charger students and parents. Welcome to Nexus, the first student apartment community built especially for you. Nexus is brand new, located next to the UAH Fitness Center. Enjoy your own bedroom, bathroom, fully furnished units, kitchen, washer, dryer, study room, and game lounges. And best of all, an easy walk to campus and classes. Call today to enjoy the complete college experience. Move in before fall classes start. 256-683-3939. And go Chargers.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Welcome back in. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. We continuing our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Talking Ball tailgate tour brought to you by Talent Heating and Air. Today we are on the campus of North Alabama, the UNA Lions, talking everything purple. We just had a great conversation with head football coach Brent Dearman. Now we're going to step into the bank, literally into, I guess you could say, the vault. I guess you're going to talk basketball.
Yeah, with UNA head basketball coach Tony Poolhole, one of my favorite people. Go all the way back to his days with Anthony Grant at Alabama. He came to the Huntsville City Classic and was recruiting, and then a lot of Levi Randolph, a lot of those guys were coming back, and we're around Huntsville, and so he's been someone we've known for a long time, and he's built this UNA program. I mean, nearly getting to the NCAA tournament last year. What a season! And now, as he just told us, a very productive 59-day summer. So, Coach, how are you doing?
Doing great. Great to be here with you guys today this morning, for sure.
59-day summer. I mean, it makes it sound so short.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the guys kind of at the beginning, it was good to see them back, on campus, right? Excitement getting them back to, just the rigors of in the weight room, getting them acclimated to, style of play and all that stuff, but also to just kind of get them together, especially with the newcomers that we have, just to kind of make sure that those guys bond and just be around each other, especially when campus is kind of empty, right, during the summertime. So they can just kind of hang out and just kind of be together and get to know one another.
And then talk about the energy around this athletic department. I grew up in Huntsville, so I've been around North Alabama my whole life. I've been coming to this campus off and on, but it's just an amazing to feel the energy here. And of course, this is my first time seeing all the construction, but man, this looks awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a smaller version of what you guys are going through in Huntsville right now.
Yes,
right?
a little bit.
Your mayor's done a tremendous job of building that place up and bringing in private businesses and bringing in just growing the city. Yeah. I think this university right now, especially with the leadership, right? President Kitts, Dr. Looney. The vision that they have for this institution, you could start to see it blossoming right now. I think it's a perfect time to be in Florence, perfect time to be at the University of North Alabama, because this is the infant stages, right? It's that growth, right? 7 years ago, we made the transition to Division I, and I think you're starting to see, that commitment. Right. Yeah. It's not just the commitment from the university; it's the commitment from people in this town. Right. Our community is I always said this when I walked in here. It's a finicky community, but it's also a community that is very, very supportive of this university. So just thankful, and like I said earlier, I think it's the right time to be in Florence.
Well, let's talk about the basketball season. I mean, I know it's tough, but this close. This close to getting to the big dance, the NCAA tournament. Heck of an ASUN run this past year. Heck of an ASUN championship run. Nearly getting that championship.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I think a lot of people when we first got here, I don't know if it was something that this community and even our university thought it was possible. Yeah. We're one of two universities in our league right now that have played for multiple tournament championships.
Yeah, that's right. You've been doing that.
So for us to do that in year 3 and now this past year, it just kind of shows you what direction this program is heading in. I was very pleased with the way our guys, just the way they prepared last year and the way that they came into every game and every practice. They had this desire to just play for a championship. And again, it was. I'm very thankful to have coached that team.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I was starting to think about, because the first time you guys played for it, you were ineligible to go, but still it was a monumental to get there. Yeah. And then this past year, you're a few minutes away from being a part of the bracket. So that just shows the progress in 7 years already, Coach. I mean, there's been a lot of progress made here.
Yeah, a lot of people involved in that, right, Drew? I mean, the one thing I could tell you is all the former coaches that we've had here that are no longer here, right? I want to make sure that I mention Ahmad Smith, my associate head coach. He's been with me since day one here, and we've known each other for over 20 plus years. We coached together at Appalachian State, and when we brought him here, he was tremendous. So you got those coaches that have made a tremendous impact in what we're doing. The other thing is all the players, right, past and present, all these guys that have committed themselves to playing at a level that you want to you want these guys to play for championships, right. and they've done that.
Well, with that success, you mentioned the two ASUN championship appearances with the success. And in today's changing landscape of college athletics, that means bigger programs are looking at your success and saying, well, you know what, that guy's good. That guy's good too. Jakari Lane, guy we all know too well.
Two-time Rocket City Award winner.
Part of that success. And, he's playing SEC basketball now.
That's right.
I guess that's the victim of the success now, right?
I don't necessarily would say we're victims, right? I think the way we look at it is
enhancers.
Jakari came here and gave us 3 solid years. Right. I mean, you're talking about average 19 wins a year as a player here. But Jakari also tell you that he relied on guys like, Will Susi, right? And relied on guys like Damian Forrest, Tay Fields, also from that area. I mean, he'll tell you that. And I think this is now a product of, just the way things are happening in college athletics right now. But we're very excited for Jakari, right? Jakari did his time here, and this is now an opportunity that he couldn't pass up. And we want to see nothing but success for him, because what he did for us, again, the 3 years, probably those 3 years, averaging 19 wins, all the personal accolades that he accomplished, and then obviously, like you said, playing for a championship. That's what else can you ask for?
Well, no, it took something like a Power 4 opportunity at Texas A&M for him to leave.
Yeah,
he nearly stayed here for his entire career, which I think is very significant. And it shows the progress you guys made. And we were talking as we came in here, Coach, the aggression of Dr. Looney and to opt into the rev share, and then an NIL program that's very healthy.
Yeah, 100%. And I can tell you this. We as a staff, we recruit just like probably everybody else, but most of the time during those 59 days that we talked about earlier, I'm here and I'm trying to connect as best I can with the individual players. And to me, it doesn't guarantee anything. What it does is it gives you a fighting chance, right? Because it's hard for a kid after you pour in the way we pour in to look at you and say, hey, I got to go now. Obviously, there's circumstances that they can't turn down. But what I'm thankful for is the way that our culture has been built. Like you just mentioned about Dr. Looney, the resources that we are given so that we can continue to grow the program. I think it's a great combination.
Talk about, you mentioned Tate Fields.
Yeah,
boy, did he take a big step.
Huge
this past year, did he not?
Huge. And especially when Dallas Howell went down, right? We lost Dallas in the 3rd game of the season. Dallas was our leading scorer. And he was going off he was getting ready to have I think a breakout year for him. And when he went down, Tay just took on a role that I don't think a lot of people predicted, including us. But it just goes to show you what type of player he is. One of the most efficient players I've ever coached, man. I mean, it's ridiculous what this kid, how he impacts winning. He impacts winning in so many different ways, not just offensively, but defensively. He's unselfish, rebounds the ball like a 6'8" power forward, at 6'4", man. I mean, it's like having a point guard / power forward in one person. And I can tell you right now, a lot of guys on our team benefited from him being on the floor.
Well, and talk about the team on the floor this year, though. I think you told us 4 new pieces, and Benjamin was telling us it's probably your biggest team, a lot of length, but kind of talk about the team going into this year.
Yeah, I've always said this, that the biggest competitive advantage at our level is if you can keep core guys together, and having guys like, Cannon Jefferson and Dante Bacchus and Cornelius Williams. A lot of people are wondering how the heck is Cornelius still here? Double average, led the league in rebounding. But my thing is, when you could keep those core guys together, I think that's a huge competitive advantage at our level. But now it's time to move forward, right? Like we're very, again, we're going to celebrate it one more time. Okay, we're going to celebrate last year one more time. I'm to be honest with you, I'm kind of past it already. But we're going to put up some banners and we're going to hand out rings and we're going to do all that in the fall. But once that's over, man, I'll be honest with you. I've kind of turned the page already. I'm ready. I can't wait to showcase this group. I think this is a fun group. Like you said, a very physical and a lot of length on this team. But what I can tell you is we are extremely excited with the two freshmen that we brought in and the two junior college players that we brought in. I think there are two pieces. I mean, there are four pieces that I think are going to really enhance the 10 guys that are returning.
What does the move to the United Athletic Conference mean? I mean, moving from the ASUN to that, I know there's a few ASUN members in there, but what is all that going to look like? And how much is that going to help?
Man, I'm stoked. I can't wait. I can't wait for that. I mean, number one, it's another market, right? It's Dallas, right? So now you're in the Dallas market. I'll be honest with you. I've already made, I was fortunate to be part of the committee when we made the decision in the ASUN to go to a neutral site. I think we have the right leadership in the ASUN. Obviously, here's a guy that now has. We have an AQ in the ASUN, and next year now we're going to have another AQ in the UAC, which is amazing how he was able to do that. So I think we got the right leadership as far as neutral site games. Now, when we go into the UAC, which is a year from now, I think you're gonna see a lot of these teams on this side, Austin P, ourselves, Central Arkansas, West Georgia, and then obviously those schools out west, the schools out in Dallas. I think what you're going to see is again just really good competition. It's going to be wars day in and day out. I've kind of made it a little pitch already. I'm hoping that Huntsville will be one of the sites potentially for a tournament.
Awesome for us.
I think it'd be great. It's a simple flight from Dallas. You get direct right into Huntsville.
Yeah.
People can. I think it's centralized. Yeah. But we'll see as time goes on. I think that's going to be something that we'll be discussing here in the near future.
Well, I mean, we're excited because we've had the Conference USA a couple years in a row, and it's been successful, and so it could lead to other opportunities, including with your league. But another guy I've got to ask about because I've known him for a long time. I see him in the summer on the circuit all the time, but I know you added to your staff. What about Andrew Steele?
Oh man. Wow.
Super excited. I thought that was a great move for you.
Obviously, I would, it's always fun when things come full circle, right? And whenever you have a player like that, who I was fortunate to have the privilege of coaching when I was at the University of Alabama, it's basketball royalty, man. That you're talking about some Birmingham legends, right? Him and his brother in the days in Birmingham. But one thing I always knew about Andrew is when he got into the coaching profession, I knew it was a great fit. I mean, it fits like a glove because number one, the things you could say about Andrew is one of these guys that number one, his work ethic is through the roof, his discipline, right? Taking care of his body, doing the right things, but then also the way he connected with his teammates, and all those attributes are really, really good for us for the coaching profession. But it's definitely good for us here. I think he's a tremendous addition to our staff, and you could tell all the guys already. You could already see the street credit that he already has from being an Alabama basketball player, being a Birmingham legend. You could already see he's gotten that street credit from the players.
So I've got one more question because I got a little birdie that he planted in my ear before I got here. So he wanted me to. He's telling me about your roster now. He's telling me about a kid, Kadar Bodie.
Oh my goodness!
Okay, so tell me about this kid.
Okay, Kadar's from Augusta, Georgia. Played at Bishop State down in
Alabama.
Down in Mobile.
That's right. South
Alabama. So we recruited Kadar and. Went into his sophomore year and just blew up. Had a great year. It was a third team All-American in junior college. To be honest with you, it kind of got hairy there at the end. To be honest with you, from a recruiting standpoint, even though he was signed, which was amazing. But hey, it is what it is, right? It's the landscape of the game. But
it is.
My thing was, I can tell you, he brings an edge to the way he plays. I think he fits our style of play. He definitely fits within the guys. The guys that you could already tell have taken him in, and he's done a great job of blending in. So I could tell you, we're excited about the entire roster. Awesome. Kadar is a big piece of that.
Well, we're really excited about it too.
Yes.
7 years. Wow. Great job, Coach. And we know it's a busy time for you. You've been a quick summer, but we always enjoy catching up.
Yeah,
Yes,
same here,
thank you.
guys. Thank you for having me.
All right, Tony Poole helping us get to our top of the hour break. When we come back, we're going to talk a lot more UNA. Dr. Josh Looney, athletics director here at UNA, will sit down with us next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopé. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings, in Hampton Cove and our latest location, now open in New Market on Winchester Road.
In the Army National Guard, soldiers serve part-time and close to home.
My community means everything to me. It helped shape me into who I am today, and is where I choose to raise my own family. That's why I joined the Army National Guard.
Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title, because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal. And we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
There you go. Just like that, hour 2 is upon us on our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Talking Ball Tailgate Tour. We are in Florence, home of the North Alabama Lions, and we've had a fantastic first hour, and we're going to roll right on into hour number 2.
Yeah, we are. Just like we rolled right into town right before 6 o'clock. It was a great trip on in, and then seeing the growth here.
Yes,
and we were here about 3+ years ago, but this is insane. I mean, I'm a North Alabamian, I'm a Huntsvillian, so I've been coming here to games off and on over the years, and to see the progress, to see the steel, to see the stadium is just crazy. And then the baseball stadium is now done, but we could see that from a distance, but everything that's going on around here, and then the growth here at CBNS, and because this is where we were last time, And then just the energy around the athletics program is crazy. And then it's an honor to have Dr. Josh Linear, who in 4+ years has done
instrumental in making a lot of that energy happen.
Unbelievable. And Dr. Linear, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys being here, bringing the tailgate a few weeks early. We don't have a home football game till week 3, but let's tailgate in the Shoals this morning. I love it.
It is. Well, we like to do it before the season begins.
Yeah, we wish it would be this temperature every day.
Before the storm.
That's what tailgating is. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
let's talk about it. I mean, we pulled in this morning. I mean, it's obviously the biggest thing going on campus, and that is the construction of the stadium. Looks amazing.
It's the talk of the town, and I think that you spend so much time when we broke ground on it in June of last summer with all the groundwork and people saying, okay, how exactly is this going to configure? I'm trying to envision it. Now the steel's gone up, and we actually had the topping out ceremony on July 31st, and now just a year later, people are saying it's tough to envision what this looked like before all this came through. And so we actually we flew a drone over the site right when we tore up the old practice field, which was the turf, which is around August 14th or 15th last year. And then we flew the same path with the drone 2 weeks ago, and it really puts in perspective what's happening, and it's awesome. So we've had a ton of growth, and we said it was a new era of Division I athletics 4 years ago, 7 years ago when we first made the transition, and now we've said, okay, we're entering another new era, right? And we've seen championship success, it's sustained success, facility growth is happening, and now that we've been able to have some tangible results to take it to the next level and stay there.
Well, and then with conference realignment, now you're positioning yourself. We talked to Benjamin about this at the start of the show, to be at the top of the facilities war in your league.
Yeah, and I think the UAC alliance that we have with the ASUN that we'll go into next year is a fantastic move for the institution. A lot of like-minded peer schools, football playing institutions that are growing. And you look at our league, and what I love about our commissioner, Jeff Bacon, and how we've grown, the departures we have had, and there's lots of realignment in the FCS world, right? I know the big P4 conferences get all the headlines, but there's a lot of realignment. But our realignment, the schools we've lost have gone to FBS leagues. We have not lost any schools to a peer FCS league. It's just the opposite. We're pulling peer schools in, right? And then you're seeing Division II schools that have been elite, like North Alabama was before we transitioned in 2018, moving up. So I think we have great strength, and now to be able to bring Texas into the mix and have a footprint where all the football playing schools are really in one side of this alliance. It's a great thing, and we're with a bunch of schools that are growing. And the facility race, we're obviously catching up, and we feel that we can go pound for pound with anybody. But they're doing big things in Texas, they're doing big things in Georgia, they're doing big things in Tennessee, and it's great to be surrounded by schools that continue to push you forward.
Talk about that alliance a little bit more. How did it come to be, and what does it mean? I mean, football-wise, you look at the schedule, and you got some Texas schools on there, Utah schools, but what does it mean for the other sports, and how is it all going to play out?
Yep. So really, you go back to the WAC ASUN Football Alliance, and I believe 2021, 2022 is when that first started, and it was a single sport piece that eventually became more than just a partnership, and it became a single sport conference. Oliver Luck was our initial commissioner to get that off the ground, and at that point, it was WAC schools and ASUN football playing schools playing in football only, and all the other sports at each of the respective schools and leagues were in the other conferences. Now, with the WAC and some of their departures that they've had, we were able, and the Utah schools finding a home in the Big Sky, we were able to take 3 Texas schools, Abilene Christian, Charlton State, and UT Arlington, and pair them with the 5 football playing institutions in the ASUN, which is us, Austin Peay, West Georgia, Central Arkansas, and I'm missing one, Eastern Kentucky, right? And come through right to where you bring the football alignment. We're entering this new era of college athletics where you're getting into rev share and NIL and really being around schools that look like you, that sponsor football. Is important. And so then you have on the ASUN side, you have the basketball centric schools are still there in this alliance to where we're under the same umbrella of shared services. We have our commissioners, the executive director of both leagues that stay separate, have their own AQs, but are partnered in many things from media rights to shared expenses, scheduling alliances, right? Beginning next year, Lipscomb, which has been a nice competitive rivalry for us that's important to us, is no longer in our league, technically, right? We will still play Lipscomb because in non-conference scheduling, we'll have alliances. So you bring a lot of those together.
Okay.
And so really it's this expansion of this football partnership that now will be in all sports. And to simplify it for your soccers and your volleyballs, we're trading Florida for Texas. Right. So instead of going to Fuller Gulf Coast and Stetson and North Florida, we're going to UT Arlington and Abilene Christian and Charleston State. So growing markets, lots of growth, and then bring the football schools together is a great, unique partnership as we look at realignment looking forward.
That was the thing Tony Pujols was excited about. The Dallas-Fort Worth area and being able to fly direct flights, and then just getting into the Texas market.
It's great. We already recruit Texas heavily. Women's basketball, especially that's where she's from. But basketball's had some Texas success. Football obviously recruits that, and we'll obviously still be in the Southeast. So we're still going to recruit Georgia and Florida hard, and Tennessee. But you open up that Texas market as well, which I just think is another great thing to unlock here for us in North Alabama.
You did mention revenue sharing, and that was all part of this house settlement stuff. You guys were a part of that. How tough a decision was it? Or, did you have to weigh in on whether or not you guys should opt in or not opt in?
There was a lot of discussions. And in fact, our decision actually was expedited. We were originally targeting the 26-27 season. And a lot of that was from the mandated roster limits. And as the judge ended up looking at the settlement and weighed it, she ended up making a decision that I think took a large majority of schools our size that were, okay, how are we going to navigate this? Do we ethically, do we want to cut 50 some athletes late in the spring? And when she grandfathered in roster spaces, that changed the narrative for, I'd say, a large portion of Division I schools outside the FBS level. And so when it came push to shove, we moved that up and said, we'll start that now. It doesn't change a whole lot for us this year. We had a strong NIL collective. We were one of the few schools in the ASUN to have an active collective. We're utilizing that, but now we're shifting it in-house for this year.
Okay.
Where I think that the biggest thing that changes at the FCS level, and for great reason, the rev share and athlete NIL deals carries the headlines nationally.
Yes.
But the biggest change for schools at our level is there are no more scholarship limits. Okay, well, everyone wants to talk about rev share. What it's going to do is force decisions on strategically your peers and where you want to go. We were at the maximum scholarship equivalency in softball. We've had a pretty good softball program here. Do our peers stay right around 12 scholarships in softball? Do we want to go to 18? Right? Or do we say, hey, we're at 12, most of our peers are at 12, right? Tennis, we just went undefeated in men's tennis and won the tennis championship.
Yes.
Now, instead of 5 scholarships, which was the Division I maximum, we could go all the way up to 10. Do we do that? Where are our peers going? And obviously, you don't have the fund to go maximum in all of those. So it's kind of some Moneyball approach. But that's really, I think, the biggest change for schools our size. And it's forcing some reallocation to relook at strategy, right? Where for the most part, all of our sports across the ASUN were at the Division I maximum scholarship limits. Now the caps are off and it's roster limits instead of scholarships.
Right.
And so which ones are you growing? Which ones are you keeping the same? And which ones you say, hey, we're actually a little bit over leveraged here.
And then as far as we were talking to Benjamin about, he's talking about the construction starting at 5 a.m. in the morning. They're still working at 5 at night. How crazy has it been to watch it how much growth in construction is, how to watch it rise up in just a little over a year's time? That's insane.
The steel goes up incredibly fast, and I think it can't ever come fast enough, but it's been absolutely, you said it's the talk of the town. It really is. We have an individual in the community that brings out multiple days a week a lawn chair and just watches the construction from the top of the church parking lot. And you see all sorts of stuff. I mean, we'll post stuff out on construction updates on social media from the university account, athletics account, but it's community people that are carrying the daily updates, right? Awesome. And so it really is. I mean, it's the largest construction project that's in this university's history. That includes any academic building, any athletic building in the past. And I would say it is probably the single most followed and talked about construction project in the Shoals in recent memory.
Well, and Benjamin told us to ask you about this because we joked about it at the start of the segment, but explain how the parking is going to work. Because he explained that you guys they've got a plan and you're going to have as much parking space as anybody in any any university in the state.
I'll tell our fans right now with at Brawley Stadium where we are, and there's additional construction there, so it'll be even more challenging. If we just took the parking garage on campus, that's more than 2 times the parking spaces we have currently in our current setting. What we look at it, if you take from Pine Street from just right along here, the athletics corridor, there's roughly 2,000 spaces on campus that are available, right? Don't even include downtown, don't include the neighborhoods. If we have a 10,000 seat stadium, that's roughly 1 space for every 5 people. The best ratio I could find at a stadium, and everything's scaled in the state, is Troy at 1 for every 6.5, right? So I think you'll have plenty of parking. There's a new parking garage downtown. We'll be shuttling individuals from the new parking garage. We know downtown businesses are excited. People will be able to park, eat, walk, enjoy downtown, and enjoy our beautiful downtown community and shopping, come back and forth. And then, there might be some folks in surrounding communities that, just like at Brawley, that open up their yards and charge for parking, just like a college football Saturday you'll see in most communities. And we're excited to bring that to campus here and be part of our vibrant, thriving community.
And you bring up Brawley Stadium real fast. I mean, this is the shiny new thing that's coming to Florence, but for years, Brawley Stadium, Division II national championship game. UNA has a lot of memories there. You guys are going to pay homage to all of that in this final season, because, I mean, it was the lifeline for UNA football for many, many years.
Yeah, a lot of excitement about Bank Independence Stadium. We are very excited to move in. We can't wait to do that.
Yes.
But you're right. There's been unbelievable history at Brawley Stadium since 1949. And we thought as we exit, it's important each week of this season to reflect on those 7 decades, essentially, that we've been able to utilize and call it home. So we're recognizing a different decade of alums at each game this year, trying to tip our hat to the championship teams, to the original teams, and invite everybody that stepped foot in there has a memory to some connection to one of our games. And then, of course, the final game, which is our final game of the regular season, I think will be pretty special, where people come in and take a look for the last time and then turn the page to something very exciting.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Dr. Lynn. It's an honor to have you once again, sir.
Appreciate both of you being here. We're Lions.
All right. It's been fun. It was a quick drive because, at 4:30 in the morning, there's not a lot of traffic on Highway 72 at 4:30. So it was good.
And now the sun will be up and you can actually see the stadium, other than just the steel coming out of the ground. That'll be great.
All right, let's get a break in. The conversation, the tailgate tour, are going to continue on live from the campus of North Alabama next.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Hudson Waldrop on the mound for the Atlanta Braves today, 4-0, a .73 ERA, a $1.19 favorite against Sandy Alcantara. The Marlins minus 103, 7.5 over the total at Lone Depot Park. Guard Jaden Roberts in the concussion protocol. He could miss the Alabama-Florida State matchup in Tallahassee on Saturday. The 8th-ranked Crimson Tide, the 13.5-point favorite, 50.5 the total. Friday night, the Auburn Tigers, 2.5-point favorites at the Baylor Bears. A week from Sunday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the Falcons open 2.5-point dogs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Have you seen the beautiful new Nexus apartment community right next to UAH? Nexus is designed exclusively for students. You'll love having private bedrooms and bathrooms, a fully furnished kitchen, and incredible amenities like 2 courtyards, a refreshing pool with grilling stations, and TV, gaming, and study lounges, all within an easy walk to campus and your classes. If you want the full collegiate experience, come take a personal tour at Nexus today. Log on nexusonhomes.com to see more, including limited time rate specials.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com.
Back in Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond hanging out. Our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Talking Ball tailgate tour rolling in. Yes, rolling in. You know what, though? I have a feeling over time that song has been used by several baseball players as a walk-up song. I think maybe.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no doubt. And we're it's Braves country. We're a Braves affiliate. We know Chipper Jones, Crazy Train for for his entire career, pretty much with the Braves. But speaking of baseball, we're going to talk some UNA Lion baseball with third-year head coach Jad Pragniak, and he has to be one of the happiest people on campus because we were looking at his brand new facility from the back end this morning as we were watching the construction of the football field. But the baseball facility is basically done. They had a chance to play without all the stands done last year, but should be ready to roll in the spring, and that's got to be exciting. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me. And as you mentioned, we are in a unique spot. We have a brand new on-campus facility, and there aren't many schools in the country that get to say that, and we're really excited about it.
I got to ask you, what was it like last season? Yeah. I mean, for most teams, when you look at the schedule, and the northern teams usually they got to play about 10 games on the road because the weather's not conducive. I mean, it's winter time still, snow on the field. But you guys didn't play 10. You didn't play 20. You played like 34 road games to start the year.
Wow.
Well, I mean, what was what was that like?
It was definitely a challenge, as you imagine. But I think our guys and assistant coaches handled it really well.
Yeah.
And even on the scheduling side, you can look who we played. We tried to get guys in stimulating environments. So if we were going to be on the road, like let's go play at Trash Pandas, let's go play at SEC schools.
Yeah.
And I think that helped kind of stimulate guys. So it wasn't just on a bus to another mid-major, and that's no knock on other mid-majors.
Right.
But it's just we wanted to get guys excited, but I had nothing to lean on. I've been coaching for college ball for 20 years, and I didn't have a reference point of like, oh, this is how you handle 34 games on the road. So in real time, we were working with it, and I thought our guys did a good job with it.
Well, and Coach, it worked because you got to the conference tournament, and then you win a game, which is monumental when you're talking about Division I baseball.
It is, and that's a good summary. As I recap, when I got to the finish line, having that winning conference record, winning the postseason game, it really felt like we had taken that next step as a program, which is really big for us.
What did you have to do going into last season to try to take that next step? I mean, obviously the roster, you have to construct it. You had to obviously find some pieces, but how hard was it, and how have you been able to build it for this next year?
Sure. I think any coach, manager is going to tell you on the mound, usually the pitching piece in baseball is going to be usually dictate your success.
Yes.
And for us last year, we took a big step on the mound. We had some freshmen step up that had big years for us. We had some transfers come in, do a good job, and returning guys. So our team ERA came down almost 2 runs from the previous year, which is a big deal. And we obviously had some room to work with, but we really got in the fight on the mound, and we had some guys that made big pitches throughout the season.
Yeah, no doubt. And like you said, you played at the Trash Panda Stadium. You guys played at minor league parks. There are schools in your league that have minor league ballparks that they play at, but you're going to have your own. And that's going to be, I think, a game changer. I'm sure now that it's an actual reality and you have it built, it had to help recruiting.
100%. And I think it was one thing when we had the pictures and the renderings. I think that still resonated with guys, but now that it's physically here, I think now it's a little more tangible for everybody. And the other piece that helps with the development side. So having an all-turf field is we're able to get out there more often. So the recruiting is big, but just our team getting better, we'll have access to our surface more often now.
Attitude-wise, have you seen a huge in this offseason? I mean, you get 20 wins, and as Drew mentioned, you qualify for the ASUN tournament. You get that win in the tournament. How has that kind of shaped the offseason program this year?
I think there is a little more confidence of the group. I think it's less of the unknown and more we've shown that we can compete with the better teams in the league. I think the cool thing for us is we have shown progress the last 3 years. So each year we've gotten a little bit better. But we still have plenty of room to continue on that track. Like, we have not maxed out. So the messaging to the team is acknowledge what we've done. We've come a long way, but we also have an on-ramp to keep on going with this thing.
And Coach Prackniak, we talked to Dr. Looney about this, but they've been very aggressive in opting in and with the NIL and the rev share. And now, as he was explaining to us, that means that there's not going to be kind of scholarship limits. You kind of decide how you're going to attack it and the kind of roster you're going to have in baseball.
Yes, and I think the opt-in, it played out well for us. So the previous rules for us forced us to give a certain amount if we're going to give a scholarship. The way our academic stuff is set up here, we can reward guys for being good students. If we can put a little bit of baseball money behind that, our money can go pretty far in regards to getting guys to school. And even that DSA, that designated student athlete, allowed rosters to not shrink up immediately. So I think that was the breaking point for us to opt in. So we weren't having to make roster decisions in the middle of the summer.
Obviously, baseball is you look at junior college ranks to bring in guys. You look at the portal. But one thing North Alabama is it's rich in baseball talent. And obviously, I look at the roster. There's a lot of guys from North Alabama, from the Shoals area. Talk about the strategy for recruiting and trying to fill in some of these roster spots.
For sure. And as you mentioned, the state in this region is really good on the baseball side. So we try to keep some good players home. We also have the ability to get guys from all over the country, just the way, again, how our scholarship is set up and the academic stuff. So we try to balance it out. One thing with the current landscape, it allows us to be very selective with high school guys. So we don't have to settle, and that's not a knock on high school guys. As I mentioned, last year we had some freshmen that stepped up for us. But if we shoot high on the high school side, and if we don't get those guys, we can pivot and go junior college route, order the 4-year stuff off of that.
How is the junior college route? Because we hear a lot of backlog stories because of the transfer portal, and there's a lot of guys sitting in junior college that have kind of dealt a bad hand because of the portal, but junior college is really rich.
It is. And this region, Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, really good junior colleges within driving distance from us. So that for us, we can find talented players in the 2-year rank as well.
And I know Johnny Johnson's done a really good job at James Clemens, and you have one of his kids here. Talk about Lucas Davenport and kind of the impact he's had on your roster.
Luke was huge. It's rare that you have a freshman that comes in and basically solidifies the back end of your bullpen. And that's what Luke did last year for us. He was basically our closer. Some of our biggest pitches of the season last year were made with Luke on the mound. And he may transition into a starter role this year. But basically we're trying to get the ball to him in big spots. That could be as a starter, could be as a reliever. But Luke progressed as the year went. And he was building confidence as the year went, and he was huge for us last year.
And you got John Allen Stogner as well, Grissom High School product on the mound.
And John Allen was the guy that closed out the game in the tournament. So he got the win over North Florida, and it was a tough day to pitch. The ball was flying, and basically a handful of guys got the ball. They all competed well, but John Allen was the guy to get those final tough outs.
And Coach, when do you guys start fall ball? When do you guys get cranked?
We are into skills stuff already, so we're doing some workout stuff already, and that's weight room and on the field. We will get into our full team stuff. September 28th is when we start the full team, the 20 hours a week practice stuff.
That's awesome. And how have you, now that you'll have the stadium this year? When's the first series? When do you guys crank up the home schedule?
We will start at home on February 13th. We're 12 of our first 13 games will be they will be at home, so that'll be a good change of pace for us. We're actually going to be home heavy to start the year next year. Instead of 34 on the road, we'll get 12 or 13 at home.
That's awesome.
And we got there'll be some good matchups at home, some non-con weekends, and then some. We have Murray State coming back to us, so we play coming off that Omaha
trip, right?
And then UAB and Jack State are coming over to us, so those will be good in-state rivalry games coming to us as well.
What was it like? And obviously, they kept the name. It's Mike Lane Field in honor of legendary head coach Mike Lane here for the UNA Lions. But to see the kids' reaction, even for batting practice, I mean, because they didn't really have a lot of bleachers set up. I mean, they just had to put something out there for you guys. But the lights where you guys were able to take batting practice for the first time. I mean, we see kids excited for locker room stuff. But what was it like to see your kids get out on the turf and just to take batting practice on their own field?
There was a tangible buzz, and I think there's a video floating around of that first open field when the lights are on, and there's a tangible buzz. And again, I have no reference, like first time for me, opening a brand new stadium. So from a coaching standpoint, it's exciting, and then watching the reactions of the players, and I think them just waiting to get to that moment. And the previous setup, like it was a great setup at the time, but just as we transitioned to Division I thing, it's just we had to get caught up with some stuff as well. So I think guys were excited to get on the turf and the brand new stuff.
Oh, we're certainly excited for you. It looks beautiful, and to have it now, of course, as you said, it was renderings and pictures, but now it's the real thing, and it's going to be huge for UNA baseball and competing on the Division I level. And we congratulate you.
Want you back though at Toyota Field, though. We loved you guys over there at Toyota Field.
And that experience for us, they take care of us. And shout out to those guys. They give you access to the locker room. Sometimes you go in those pro parks and they'll lock every door. You can hardly find a restroom, but they'll give you. We had a smoke machine going after one of our wins. The clubby took care of us. So we love going out there, and it is part of at least every other year I want to get over there for sure.
Yeah, that was because you had the 3-game series with Army. It was really good.
It was Army, and then it was Alabama's home game, but we went over to play Alabama there last year as well. It was getting walked off by them wasn't fun, but we were in the fight a little bit.
Yeah, you were in the fight, and then you won and you came back and won the series against Army, so that was good.
It was. Yeah, that was a good way to start the season. I feel like that laid the foundation for the season. That opening weekend over there.
Well, enjoy fall ball.
Yep.
Hopefully the weather is like this.
Yes. The 10-day looks good. The forecast looks good. So I think we'll be in the 80s for the next week or so.
Well, Coach Pragnac, we appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Guys. Thank you for having me.
All right, we're going to keep on going. The tailgate tour is going to roll along. How about we talk some volleyball, I believe, coming up next. Whew, we're doing it all here on our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Talking Ball tailgate tour.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our workhorse special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title, because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Calling all UAH Charger students and parents. Welcome to Nexus, the first student apartment community built especially for you. Nexus is brand new, located next to the UAH Fitness Center. Enjoy your own bedroom, bathroom, fully furnished units, kitchen, washer, dryer, study room, and game lounges. And best of all, an easy walk to campus and classes. Call today to enjoy the complete college experience. Move in before fall classes start. 256-683-3939. And go Chargers.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. We have been on the campus, or we still are, not have been. We are still on the campus of North Alabama, the Lions. It is our 97.7 ESPN, The Zone Talking Ball Tailgate Tour presented by Talent Heating and Air. Let their talent do some work for you, talenthvac.com. And Drew, we're closing it out. We're going back inside the bank. We've spent some time on the baseball field, the football field, the basketball court. Now we're going to step onto the court. This time, going to finish up the conversation talking a little volleyball.
Yeah, no doubt. And we spoke with him just a few years ago when we were here. He was building the program, and now it's become one of the more consistent on campus. And it's always good to catch up with Tristan Johnson. He's been kind enough to join us and talk a little UNA Lions volleyball. How are you doing, Coach?
I'm good, guys. Thanks so much for being here. And yeah, it's been a minute. It's crazy how time flies like that, right? But it's been a good journey. So appreciate you having me.
Yeah,
well, you want to try building a program. That's the last time we were here. It's like, okay, the foundation was here. Got to put the bricks, a little bit more mortar in there, make it a little bit stronger. One way to do it is get a win against a Power 4 team. And last year, you guys cash in on a win at Alabama.
A place you worked.
Yes.
Yeah. So a place I went to school and got my undergrad, and then a place that I was a student assistant there, and then went back and was an assistant coach there. So obviously there were a lot of fun personal enjoyment in that, but I was just happy for the program. To your point, there's a lot of excellent history here. National championship in 2003 for volleyball, and a very awesome Division II powerhouse. And so, when I interviewed for the job, that was one of the most appealing aspects of it, was you could win here, obviously, right? And so knowing that, it was like, all right, now you just got to do the job. Now you just got to go in there and do it, which, for any competitor, that's all you're looking for, is something that all you got to do is go in and fight. And so, a huge win for the program. Obviously a lot of fun for me personally, but I think was a big moment for what we're continuing to do.
Mm-hmm. And then talk about the growth of the program over the last couple of years, because we've been talking to Dr. Looney. We've been talking to so many people. There's so much energy around the UNA campus now, so much construction going on, so much growth in the brand.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time. It's all starts with vision, right? Whether that's Dr. Kitt's vision to go Division I, whether that's Dr. Looney's vision to, build a football stadium and build a baseball stadium and improvement in flowers and just all these different things. And, it all starts with that. And I think the fun part about it is, I'm fortunate enough. I was Dr. Looney's first hire. So he got hired in September. He hired me in December. And so I feel like the recruits that I have on my team right now for him, right, where it's like when I got here, it was, hey, this is the vision. This is what I plan to do. And I could tell from the beginning, I've been very lucky to work for some really good athletic directors. And I knew when I met with him and Dr. Kitts that it was going to get done. You can just tell people, right? And it's cool to get to witness his vision unfold, no different than my vision unfold within the volleyball program.
How close is the roster right now that you have that you'll put on the floor August 30th against Grambling? How close is the roster now to where you envisioned it when you took over the program?
I mean, I'd say we're right there. I mean, I really like the pieces that we have in the gym. We got to stay healthy. I mean, we got to get healthy, stay healthy. That's a big piece of it. But, we returned the conference freshman of the year last year and Reese Ricketts, and she's just a monster, and brought in a couple of really talented transfers. Kendall Barnes from Ball State has played in the postseason before. Ava Martindale, who played at UTEP, they were an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament last year. She was a starter for them. Yolana Smidlova, who started at the University of Tulsa for 3 years. So
you rattled that name off pretty good, too.
I know. You got it. You coach enough Europeans and foreigners, you get used to it. But
I did Pragniak.
But I'm really excited about this group, and I think more than anything in the locker room, we're changing the way we think, and I've used this quote a few times, but the book Row the Boat, PJ Fleck wrote. Dr. Looney gave it to me a few years ago, and there's a quote in there that PJ Fleck talks about where bad teams have no leadership, good teams have coach leadership, and great teams have player leadership. And I feel like we're finally at a place where we have some leadership within the locker room to help row the boat. And I don't win matches. I mean, you guys know that coaches lose, players win, right? And so I think we're finally at a place where we've got some players in the locker room that are determined to get this thing done. And it's hard, but that's the thing that probably excites me the most.
Well, and then we talked to Dr. Looney about the rev share and opting in and everything, and then how it changes the dynamic of the athletic department. How does it affect volleyball for you?
I think it's different for every university and every program. I think for me, I was fortunate enough last year. I had a starting outside hitter that had played at the University of Tennessee, and Jasmine Brooks, for 4 years, and gave her COVID year here. Cool story there. She was committed to play for me at Alabama.
Yeah.
We left, and then she went to Tennessee, and so it was full circle. She came back to play for me here, and then I had Brenna Teets, who was a West Virginia player, and neither one of them ever asked for rev share or NIL or they just wanted to be in an environment that was special. Jasmine Brooks, Huntsville, Alabama native, went to Sparkman High School, and I'll get goosebumps because the cool part was we played Central Arkansas here last year, and this place was packed, and she set the school record. She had 35 kills. She set the school record, and 36 was the all-time program record. She was one away. Still bitter about that. But, the best part was her parents were there and her sister were there, and the whole gym was Jasmine. And so, after it was, I'm telling you, it chills. I brought her over and I said, this is why you came here. Right. It wasn't money. It wasn't rev share. You came here to be the one. Right. And so I'm a marketing major. I got a marketing degree from Alabama. So it's all in how you market your program. But I think for me, I want to build something where, I've said from the beginning, if any of my kids get NIL, they all get the same thing. Not one kid's going to get all the money. I think it's the best for my approach. I'm in no position to tell anybody else how to do anything. But, I want my players to all feel that they're getting as similar investment for each other.
We hear the stories, it's kids going here for X, kids here going for X and X. It sounds like everybody is wanting money. Mm-hmm. Is it hard to find girls like that, ladies like that want to just play for a school that when it used to be you signed because that's where you wanted to go because you wanted to play for them. You've grown up wanting to be a Lion. Is it hard to find kids like that just want to play volleyball?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily hard. I just think you have to be transparent about your expectations from the jump, and, in the recruiting I look at it and I go, I think a lot of the kids you're talking about from a volleyball perspective are coming out of the transfer portal, right? Oh, they're going, hey, I'm at school X, they're paying me X, or I'm at school Y and they're not paying me anything. I want to go here to get more money.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're going, hey, we're going to go recruit high school kids that are probably out of our weight class a little bit, but they're getting overlooked because all these bigger schools are investing their money into these transfer kids, right? And so, we're going more grassroots and still getting some other kids, right? The Kendall Barnes that I referred to, who is from Memphis, right? And so, I think, is it hard? I mean, everybody wants money, right? But I think at the end of the day, these kids and their families pay so much money for AAU volleyball and club volleyball that, we're not talking 100, 200,000, you know what I mean? And so if their parents have paid that much for them to play club for 10 years, they're looking at it going, hey, I just want you to be happy, right? Go be happy, and go get a great experience. And I think that we can build championship caliber volleyball with that. Cause, I look at it and go, what keeps us competitive within our league? Well, no one in our league is paying $50,000 for a volleyball player. Right. And so, I think, if I'm sitting here going, okay, we need to beat Nebraska. Well, to me, I would love to beat Nebraska, but that's a different thing, right?
That's a whole different animal. Yes.
Well, and Coach, before you go, talk about the expectations for the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're looking to take that next step. When I met with you guys a few years ago, you had said it from the very beginning. Winning was the priority, right? Regardless of who we played, I didn't care if we played the Sisters of the Deaf and Blind. We were just trying to win. I mean, you had to reverse the mindset from 18 wins in 4 years and 8 conference matches in 4 years. You got to reverse that mindset. You got to win. So it doesn't matter who you play. You just got to learn what it feels like to win. You got to learn what it requires to win. And so year 1, we did that. Year 2, we have the best season, make conference tournament. Year 3, we step it up, play Power 4 schools, have a winning season, make the conference tournament again. So this year, we're going to Mississippi State. We're playing Alabama at home September 14th. We're going to the University of Houston the 4th weekend, and all of that is to prepare our players to push for a conference championship. So we're just looking to take that next step.
Well, you bring up Nebraska. I think you need to go to Dr. Looney's office and you need to say, look, the first event in Bank Independence Stadium needs to be an outdoor volleyball game.
I sent him that text message 2 weeks ago. You read my mind. We're working on it.
And UNA.
That's right. I'm looking for the opponent right now. That's what he told. He said, "You find who it is, and we'll make it happen." So
that would be unbelievable to do.
Yeah, we're that's hopefully in the works. He and I both are very much on board for something like that, and I think it would be a tremendous thing for the campus and for volleyball. And so I'm working on trying to find who wants to come down here and play. And we've had, from a tournament perspective, I mean, Ole Miss wanted to come here, and Alabama is coming here, and so I do think that we can get people here, with a brand.
It would be first outdoor. It would have to be the first outdoor college volleyball game ever in the state.
Oh, 100%.
You guys did it.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And nobody else, no other collegiate team has done it for sure.
Well,
so
we appreciate the time, Coach. It's great to catch up with you and see the growth of the program. And congratulations, huge win over Alabama.
Yes.
And it's monumental for the program and the way it's grown. And obviously, UNA volleyball is on the rise, and you're a big part of that. And we thank you for the time.
I appreciate it, guys. Roar Lions, thank you.
You got Mississippi State this year, though. Now,
yeah,
that's right.
30th.
That's right. This weekend, coming up on Sunday.
All right, a short drive over to Starkville. All right, Coach, congratulations. Best of luck.
Thanks, guys. Roar Lions.
We are going to wrap everything up here with your tomorrow's headlines next. It's our we got one more, Coach. We're not done yet. We're not done.
Scott, what you say?
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. It's actually going to be quite cool as we head into the overnight. Temperatures dropping into the mid and upper 50s across the Tennessee Valley. A partly sunny sky as we head into your Wednesday afternoon. We're going to be well below average. Highs climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s, dropping into the upper 50s, lower 60s as we head into the overnight. A little more cloud cover for your Thursday. Temperatures climbing into the mid 70s.
Your Fox 54 weather only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Insulation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
There you go. Welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Let's get right into it. The tailgate tour rolling right along. Women's basketball taking center stage.
Yeah, that's our first time to meet her. She's going into year 2 at the helm of the Lady Lions, and it's Candy Whitaker. She's been kind enough to join us here on our tailgate tour, brought to you by Talent Heating and Air. And we thank you for joining us, Coach. Looking forward to talking some Lady Lions women's basketball right now.
Well, thanks for having me. I know you guys had an early morning, so we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's okay. Kind of take us through year 1. New program, trying to catapult this into an upper echelon Division I team.
Yeah, we first of all, I felt like I inherited fantastic young ladies that really welcomed me and got on board very quickly, and we were able to sign a handful of players that impacted us as well. Charity Gallegos leading the way for us, was a 1-year kid that led us in most categories and really put the team on our back on the offensive end quite a bit. So we'll miss her, but proud of the year she had, but excited about year 2 and rolling in with 7 returners and 8 new guys. So we're excited about the opportunity to compete.
And I know one of the things when Dr. Looney hired you, I'm sure that you saw that this is one of the programs, maybe I thought the one that had the success on the Division I level the quickest on campus.
Yeah, for sure. I thought they did a great job at the D2 level and had some really great talent that was local at the time when they transitioned to Division I and had a lot of success early. Right. So I'm fortunate for that, that we didn't have to start, well below the basement in the climb, that they had already done a great job. And I think Dr. Looney's just done a fantastic job leading this department in the Division I era.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's been a busy summer, obviously, for you. But you've also had a couple members, or you had one member of your team play during this off season and win a European champion. Is that right?
Well, that was a coach.
Oh, coach, my bad.
Yeah,
my bad.
No,
I thought it was.
We had 2 Italians competing to the last day for their national team. Didn't make the cut in the under 20.
Yes.
Sandra Apson was our assistant coach. She's from Sweden that had an opportunity to go back and help coach her Swedish national team. And they went from 1 win last year to winning the championship this year. So excited for her to be able to have the opportunity to do that.
And so how has your blueprint been for a roster building? Because the transfer portal is very important. We talked to Dr. Looney about the rev share and the NIL is healthy here. But how have you kind of attacked it? And we consider ourselves kind of the hub of basketball in North Alabama. So there's a lot of good ladies basketball here. So how have you gone about kind of building this program?
Well, I think wherever you are, you want to take care of your backyard as much as you possibly can and get kids to stay home. And and within a 4 or 5 hour radius of Florence, we want to be able to recruit and get people to stay here. But for us, we also want to really take advantage of our contacts. We've signed kids out of Texas, out of Kansas City, high school kids that we had previous contacts with. So we've had some success there. And then junior college and portal. We've really hit every avenue to get talent. And both years we've had all of the above. And so we'll continue to have a wide range of recruiting efforts there and try to build the best roster we can. We have a lot of international contacts. So we have quite a few international kids on our roster, the most I've honestly ever had, and we've had great success there.
The ASUN's very competitive. How close are you, do you think, to being up there in that 2/3 or upper half.
I think we're close. It's hard to say where everyone's at because so many rosters lost a lot.
Yes,
to the portal.
Yes, we're yes.
So we think we've gotten a much stronger roster than we did last year. We have some continuity with our offense and defense, which always helps. Yep. Kids running the same type of actions, understanding expectations. So I think we're made a significant jump from year 1 to year 2, but a lot of things have to happen. Got to stay healthy. Got to get great chemistry and connectivity. But definitely feel like we're headed in the right direction.
And then talk about the healthier squad, because I know you said that was a big part of the growth last year because some young ladies torn ACLs, you weren't healthy.
We weren't healthy. We our starting post player went down on the first day of practice. Our next post up really managed a back and didn't play but half of the season. But it really gave India Howard an opportunity to get in, and she got better every single day. And now she's one of our best post players by far, and excited about her growth. And then we had 2 guards go down late January, early February, back-to-back ACLs with Emma Kate Tittle and Alyssa Clutter. 2 of our most athletic, strongest kids, not typical candidates for ACL, and they are already back. They look fantastic. So, staying healthy for every team is always important, and ours is, one of the same. So hopefully we'll have a better luck this season as far as that goes, but we're looking good so far.
How do you challenge this team schedule-wise this year?
We have a tough non-con schedule. We have 2 SEC teams built in. We have several, mid-majors really throughout the region. We try to stay regionally is my philosophy. There's too many teams that in this region that you can go and get a home and home with. So good non-conference schedule. We're at home mostly in November, and then we're on the road like almost all of December. So which
not a bad time though. Because the students are gone.
Yes,
so yeah,
students are gone. Our kids aren't in class, so it's a great time to get on the road.
And I have a good friend who is a huge UNA fan, and he told me to ask you. And you mentioned the influence of international talent. This has got to be an international young lady. I'm going to give it my best shot here. Buki Akinsola.
She actually is American.
Is she?
Crazy. Now,
Where's she from?
Her parents are Nigerian.
Okay.
But she's from the East Coast. Wow. She's going to be a great guard for us. Yes.
It sounds like she's going to be a special talent. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, I apologize for
Alexander Alvarado.
Okay.
That's another local. I mean,
yes. I mean, I admire the international angle, because I've always felt like a lot of colleges need to go that route, because there's a lot of great high school players in the United States. But there's a lot of really good, international talents that can have an impact in the Division I level.
Well, Coach, thank you so much. I know it was short, but thank you.
No, it was great. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for coming over. We know it's a very busy time, and we appreciate UNA for having us.
Well, we appreciate you being here.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event at Woody Anderson Ford. Hey folks, Bobby White back again, and I'm here to tell you